Okay, I'm back, and yep, I am showing the old purple phalaenopsis again. There's been a comment, kind of made about her leaves, but I'm not really going to talk about the sick sister. She's not happy. But this one in front, there is two plants in this pot. They're sister keikis, because I just about killed the plant entirely, but at the very last moment I got things right, and a couple of keikis came out of the stem, and I got two plants. Kind of appears that I'm heading toward having one plant, but we'll see what happens. But the reason I decided to film... sorry, I just realized I've got terrible heartburn. But the reason I'm filming her is this one in front. I kept promising that she would bloom. Always late, but is a reliable bloomer. Well, a few days ago, I noticed what I thought might be a spike, and then I kind of thought that it was a root, and ever since I've seen it, I've been going back and forth. It kind of looked like a root, but it was coming out where I expected the flower spike, and it's about time for the flower spike, but it looks like a root. That's why I didn't move it out, is I want to get a nice bloom. So I'm just leaving her put, and I'll let it bloom. It's around behind that leaf that is upside down, sticking out of the stem back there. She's going to head back to the curtain, and you're going to get to see the flowers finally. Yay! She decided not to make a liar out of me and actually bloom. I wasn't holding any doubts yet, but it is about time. She's gonna bloom, and when the spike gets longer, we'll see it. Yeah, see, it just gets dark as I try to get over there. But the spike will come out, and it'll get longer, and there'll be proof that there is one there. Reminded me of the national anthem. And our flag was still there. So, I'm not going to sing the national anthem. Most of my viewers, I had to look at the analytics, and most of the viewers are in the Netherlands, so I'm not going to insult anybody with the U.S. national anthem, because I don't have many viewers in the U.S., and I'm not much of a singer anyway. So, there it is. We're gonna have a bloom, and as far as these dying leaves go, leaves die. The one back there usually loses the oldest, and then the next oldest. It's the first time it's done it at the same time. I usually manage to have at least two leaves, but it looks like it's going to have one for a while. And I think after she's done blooming, I'm going to bite the bullet and give this plant its first ever repot. That bark in there is starting to look more like dirt than bark. And this one has not had a repot ever. That's not only the store pot, but the store's bark. Because when I first started growing orchids, I couldn't couldn't repot an orchid without killing it. So I asked my neighbor that lived down below me, he's sister or mother or somebody apparently is part of the local orchid society that I haven't looked up yet. Kind of asked him for help. Apparently his knowledge is more, I don't want to say forced on him, but he's not an orchid grower. It's his family member. And I don't know, he was saying something about when she went out of town, he followed the instructions on the paper she wrote and crossed his fingers and hoped that nothing died while his relative was gone, is the understanding I have. So, didn't get any real help there. And then I decided one day that listening to YouTubers and reading just wasn't cutting it. It was not helping my plants to survive. And that's just me. If I was following the instructions wrong, or more likely I wasn't getting the whole story, which is the only real teacher that's really going to teach you how to grow orchids that I have come to find out is your orchids. Because Miss Orchid Girl, Brad over at Brad's Greenhouse or whatever that channel, I need to look at his videos again. I forgot what his channel's called. Astrid, these people, they know how to grow orchids. Archie, he's got a nice, fairly good-sized greenhouse. These people know how to grow orchids, but they know their environment. They know what they need to do to keep their orchids alive in their environment. I don't have their environment. And they don't know mine, so how could they really help me? No, your best teacher is going to be your orchids. That's going to be your best teacher. And when you learn, I call it speaking plant. When you learn to speak plant, then you'll start going places. That is when you'll start going places. You can get what you can get from YouTubers and the internet, but at the end of the day, you've got to get to know your own growing environment and what your plants want. They are the ultimate teachers in how to grow them. So, that's my little bit of advice. Pay more attention to your plants. Try to learn what your plants are telling you. They don't speak English. you gotta learn to read them. And I'll talk to you next time.